Okay, it's one minute past 6. This is the Alton, Town of Alton Zoning Board of Adjustment Public Hearing Agenda for August 7th, 2025 at 6:01 PM. And at the Alton Town Hall, I'm calling to order at the meeting, and I'm going to ask the board to name themselves. Joe, if you would start, please, your name.
Joe Mankus, board member.
Tim Morgan, board member.
Paul LaRochelle, board member and selectman rep.
Tom Lee, board.
Frank Rich, board member, and the chairman. Let's see, we have a full board, which is great. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. And I'm going to read the statement of the appeal process. The purpose of this hearing is to allow anyone concerned with an appeal to the Zoning Board of Adjustment to present evidence for or against the appeal. This evidence may be in the form of an opinion rather than established fact. However, it should support the grounds that the board must consider when making a determination for the variance or any of the applications. The purpose of the hearing is not to gauge the sentiment of the public or to hear personal reasons why individuals are for or against the appeal, but all facts and opinions based on reasonable assumptions will be considered. In the case of an appeal for a variance, the board must determine facts bearing upon the 5 criteria set forth in the state statutes. For a special exception, the board must ascertain whether each of the standards set forth in the zoning ordinance have been and will be met. Can I get an approval? Are we amending any of the
agenda.
the agenda?
There is one item under new business that we are striking for the moment to discuss administrative changes.
We're striking it, or are we voting on it?
No, we're just going to take it off the agenda for now.
We're going to take it off the agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
And
The administrative change.
Mr. Chairman, may I believe not all the mics are on. I remind everyone to turn the mics on and get them close to them as they can, so.
Can everybody put their mics on? Everybody on?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, so the agenda is modified to, we will not have on previous business the ZBA continuation for the July 10th, 2025. Is that correct?
We will move that one up to put it first on the agenda. if we
We're going to
can.
move it up to the first part of the agenda.
And
I see.
number 2 will be the one we are taking out.
Okay. All right, and number 2 will be the continued application of the April 7th with
Oh, no.
change in seasons. Is that correct?
No, it's just the new business at the bottom.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to amend the agenda as written and to go to previous business ZBA continuation for the July 10th, 2025 meeting to consider the rehearing request from attorney Sean Dunphy of Cronin, Bisson, and Zelinski for case Z25-15R for Walter and Janice Borowski, trustees of the Walter Borowski Living Trust. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we're going to discuss that first.
Mr. Chairman, before we go forward with discussing that, I would move that we appoint Mr. Manzioni as an alternate member, for that case. I think he heard it, and there are others on the board currently tonight who did not hear it.
Oh, did he sneak in?
No, came in rather
Oh, you were in
openly.
the-
Thank you.
You were in the bathroom? Okay. Oh my God. This is what happens, okay, all the time. It's unbelievable. Okay, can I get a second on that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so Mr. Paul Manzioni is also an alternate, and he will be involved in the proceedings tonight, along with the board. Thank you, Mr. Manzioni.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to go to, so the ZBA continuation for July 10th, 2025. Last session, there was a 2-2 vote on whether to consider a rehearing, and because I was not at the meeting, I thought it was uncomfortable for me to make a determination. Now that we have the full board that was here during that time frame, what say the, okay, in terms of the rehearing? How do you feel?
Yeah, same as I stated last month, I am against a rehearing.
Paul?
I also am against the rehearing. I think we've heard everything, and I didn't see anything new as far as the case was concerned.
Tim?
I spoke in favor of a rehearing for two reasons. One, I believed that at the end of the meeting, at the end of the presentation, it devolved into an angry and antagonistic presentation, and I don't think anybody makes a good decision in those circumstances. The second reason I would grant a rehearing is I think there was a mistake, or at least a misunderstanding in the presentation. I think the board was asking for a hydrologist report, and the applicant was saying, we're presenting a hydrologist report, here's a water quality report that we produce annually. I think what the board was asking for was a percolation test from a hydrologist to make sure that the protected aquifer was not impacted. And so for those reasons, I think a rehearing is appropriate.
Thank you. Joe?
Well, I wasn't at that last hearing, so I didn't witness it, but based on what Tim just said, if the emotions ran high, I would agree with Tim and say I'm in favor of a rehearing.
So if I hear you correctly, you are affirming that you would like to have a rehearing?
Well, based on what I just heard from Tim, yes.
Okay. And Paul?
I think I said this at the last hearing. I'm in favor of a rehearing because there was some issue. I'm not so much concerned about whether it was contentious or not that evening. I think that people were nonetheless very analytical and thoughtful in their decisions. I don't think emotions got in the way, but I do respect Tim's perspective on that. More importantly, my position was the applicant was asking the board to do too much of a hypothetical, assume everything is okay, and then aren't we entitled to it if everything's okay? And we as a board were saying, well, if you give us the hydrology report, then we don't have to assume. You're kind of asking us to assume too many things. And that's why we were kind of all on the same page. It's just they wanted us to grant that based on assumptions. We were uncomfortable. The other thing that concerns me is whether a special exception is even required, given that this was only for a single unit. They've made a point of that in their petition for rehearing. I know there's some analysis on both sides of that issue. A rehearing would give the board an opportunity to really hear the details of that argument, give the applicant an opportunity to present them all, and then the board could make a decision. We may decide the same thing again, but I think in light of these issues, it gives both sides an opportunity to be a bit more thorough, make a stronger record, and I think a rehearing is in order.
Okay, thank you. So if I've got my numbers correct, there are 3 for a rehearing and 2 not for a rehearing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to
We
have.
could, yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say, we
have a vote, I mean, I'd like to have someone make a motion, please.
I'll move that we grant a rehearing in case C 25-15.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. It's unanimous by the board. Okay? And I reclused myself.
No, just don't.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving right along. The Z 25-12 continued applications from April 7th, 2025. Changing Seasons Engineer, PLLC, Stephanie Richards, and with agent for Richard Lundy, owner.
Could I just ask a question on the last vote? I think the reason, Mr. Chairman, you refrained from the decision on the rehearing because you weren't in, which is why, as an alternate, my vote was needed because I was at that. Okay, I just want clarification for the record. And then before we go any further on this case, I'm recused on this case, so, thank
Are
you.
you going to disturb me all night long? Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, so changing seasons and your continued application. Special exception is requested under Article 400, Section 401, D17, to permit a contractor's yard. I thought we had
We did.
denied,
You guys denied the continuation request.
right,
But you did not deny or accept the application, so the application is still active. So if you decide to deny the case, you would need to deny it without prejudice, and then a new application would need to be submitted. So there's two motions. There was a motion to deny the continuance. Then we also need a motion to deny the case, if that's your decision.
did everyone hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think we just missed a step here last month when we voted on this. So I'm willing to make a motion. I move that we deny the request for continuance, and second step, that we deny the application, but we deny it without prejudice, which basically means the applicant can refile, rebring it, and re-notify all the abutters.
Okay, so we're denying it without prejudice so they can reapply,
That's correct.
okay?
And the reason for denial was continuances went over 3 times?
That's correct. That's the reason for the denial of the continuance.
Okay, can I get a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so it's unanimous. Okay, so the applicant needs to come back to the board
Reapply.
and reapply because they ran into too many
Continuance.
continuances. Okay, thank you. All right, new applications, case Z25-29. Sure. So, I'm sorry that you're being inconvenienced. Our apologies, okay? The applicant had 3 continuations. And so because the applicant had 3 continuations, they actually have to start all over again, okay? Because we only allow for, do we allow 3 or 2?
We allow 2.
2. So they were on their third continuation. So we denied it last, but we didn't do it properly. We denied it, but we never said we denied it without prejudice, okay, so that they could renew their application. So they're going to they're going to renew it, or we think they're going to renew it. When they renew it, all of the abutters have to be notified again. And in that notification, it will tell you when they're going to have, they're going to have the meeting here with us. And if you have concerns, certainly you will have your opportunity in the public forum to speak for or against the application. And as you heard from my first part of the speech, it shouldn't be opinion, but it can be a reasonable opinion. But the more facts that you have that are concerning you, so that the board can consider all of that, of what the abutters are saying, is important, okay, for us to make a decision. And then we can, once that comes about, the board can make the applicant, if we approve it, we can request that the applicant perform certain things like buffers, and time of usage. But we will ask a lot of questions. We do all the time when it comes to contractors' yards. So my recommendation there, if that is in fact the case, then you need to get to the enforcement code officer, which is this woman right here, and she will address that with the owners if they're doing something that's inappropriate. Okay? Yeah,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
I have two pieces of information.
sir, sure.
Mr. Lundy asked us if he could move a couple of pieces of equipment to put on the property before the approval came through, because the place he was storing some of his vehicles and equipment was being paved, and he needed to move them over for the time being, so we told him that he could do that. If that's what's happening, that might be beyond what we gave him permission to do, so we can address that. You're welcome. Okay, thanks.
Okay? Any other questions? From the abutters? Any others? I'm sorry that you've come here tonight, okay, but it happens, you know? And there will be if the applicant reapplies, there will be another hearing, and all of the abutters, if they're not an abutter, they will not be notified, okay? Yes, sir. Okay, so that's another thing, okay? If you have information that you want to supply to the board in advance, send it to the send it to
The zoning department.
the planning department? Yeah,
Planning.
send it to the planning department, and they will put it in our packet, okay? No, we'll already have that. If it's additional things that you want to put in, pictures, whatever it might be, anything additional, we already have some of it. You're welcome. Great. Yes. Thank you.
You should get some names.
Could you state your,
record.
for the record, state your name? Again?
Great. I'm sorry? Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay. Okay, great. All right, moving, unless there's some other question, moving right along. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
with the rest of the agenda, if there are no conflicts or any reason why any member cannot sit, an alternate would not be needed, and therefore I'm going to excuse myself for the rest of the night. Thank you. Thank you.
Like a fly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Monzioni. Okay,
This,
that's a welcome relief. Okay,
the
thank you.
fly at the picnic is leaving.
I'll tell you, wow.
You had your whole evening pre-planned. Nice to see you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, moving right along. Case Z 25-30, Viney Engineering LLC, Tom Viney, agent for Amy Leone and Jeffrey LaRose, owners.
You're skipping one. Mr.
Oh, I
Chairman.
missed one, I'm sorry. Gee whiz, I crossed off, I'm sorry. Application case Z 25-29, Richard and Patricia Devana, owners, 178 East Side Drive, map 35, lot 34, Lakeside Residential. It's a variance is requested for Article 300, Section 356, to permit a recreational vehicle as a principal use in order to replace an existing 85-year-old mobile home. Is the applicant here? Please, come forward. Yeah, take your time. Thank you.
For the microphone, it's turned on.
I thought it's a lot clearer in the 8.5 by 11, but this was all white, dark. It's a little grainy.
Sir, we still have to, we'll have to have your mic turned on, you know, and then we also have to accept the application is complete.
While he's setting up, I'll move that we accept the application as complete.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so your application has been cited as being complete. And could you state your name for the record, please?
Needs to push the button.
Push
the button. So
Can you push the
that.
button?
Yeah, you'll see the green light come on.
Hey, you want to say
Again,
it?
Richard J. Devana, and Patricia Devana, 1J Black Oak Drive, Nashua, New Hampshire, primary residence.
Great, thank you. Okay. Please.
Okay, the first thing I just want to, I received an email on the 5th from the zoning, there was comments from the zoning board, I guess. I didn't see it till today, and I replied to the questions for clarification. Most of the answers, I think, were in the application, so there should be no change, but I have copies if you didn't receive that. think the top is my response bullets to
Okay.
the questions.
So I believe what he's handing you is a response to, the staff review was sent out to all the applicants for the meeting, so they have this. So he's, sort of answering and clarifying some of the notes that I have on the staff review.
Okay. Great. And
Which will end up being your questions most likely.
may I call you Richard?
Yeah,
Thank you. Okay, Richard, I think you said that you received this on August, you received the staff report on August 5th,
I believe it is dated, the email was dated the 5th.
the 5th.
And I hadn't looked at, wasn't expecting it, and I hadn't looked at my emails till this morning.
Okay, great. Thank you. Have you read this?
I think we need to start the application itself.
Okay.
And then you can, this will be more of a question thing.
Okay, so why don't you go forward on what you're,
Okay.
what you're looking to do, Richard?
Yeah, I think it's important, a brief history of us. We've been part of Alton for over 40 years, first at Mary Meeting Campground, and then when we purchased 181 and 178 East Side Drive in Alton Bay around 2005. So we love Alton, and the family's growing up here. So, and I'm fully retired now, so we're both retired, so things change a little bit, so sort of a downsize. So we just recently sold the lake house, but I'm maintaining 170 East Side Drive across the street. I have boat access rights, so we still get to enjoy the water and get out on the lake and things like that. So, and while I'm here, we're still waiting. While we're still in Alton, we're still waiting for the original owners of Sandy Point Restaurant to come back and reopen a good restaurant, and we're still waiting for the Oak Birch Inn to be rebuilt. So just a little history for us.
Stairs is still there.
Huh?
The staircase is still there.
Yeah. Yeah. But, okay, so in the downsize process, we were investigating what our options were for 178 East Side Drive. It's an older trailer. It's been there since 1965 or so, and there's been tenants in there, and primarily most of the time there was a period we were just using it for the family, and then it's a tight fit for that mobile home. And the other issue is back in 1960, the infinite wisdom of the power company and the current owner was to put an easement, electrical overhead easement up the lot, and they decided to put it right in the middle of the lot. So I've spent, it breaks up the lot. You can't develop it. The height of the wire is halfway up the hill, probably about 15 feet off the ground. It's just hard to develop. It would be expensive anyway, but it's just hard to develop it. I spent 13 months or so working with New Hampshire Electric. They were very cooperative. We went through that picture in the left, you've seen it. The left middle has about 4 scenarios to relocate the poles up one of the sidelines. But they have a new standard, I guess, and they won't deviate from it, that wherever there's a new pole, they need a 15-foot paved access to it. So up at the top of the hills, the abutters, it's just very hard to find that. We spent all this time coming up with ideas, and they wouldn't budge. It doesn't seem right that they have such control, but that's what it is. And that's as I identified in the application, that's really the hardship. I can't develop the land. If I wanted to even put in a modular home. It just doesn't fit in the lot. And even if you cut into the lot, you got this line in the middle. It's just terrible. So the best solution we saw was to either utilize the mobile home that's there, which is in some disrepair, and or put in another mobile home. And it's my understanding through, going through the zoning requirements, that there's a number of different things that might apply. That I believe is section 320, that because it's existing, that if I need to replace it, I guess it would be called non-conforming, that, I'm able to replace it as long as I match the footprint or things like that. So that's how I started to approach it, and we went, Patty and I, looked at kind of a conventional, they're not called mobile homes anymore, it's a pre-manufactured home, and it was nice. It had a front porch on it. It was about 15 feet wide, and kind of like that, but a very low profile on the roof, 3 on 12, and but a typical mobile home. I walk in, the quality was lousy. The floor still seemed brand new thing, but so then I discovered this Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They make a log home. It's basic. They call it an RV on wheels, and the only reason it's an RV on wheels that I know of is that they keep these less than 400 square feet because in some states you don't have to pay taxes and things. That's not true for New Hampshire, but so it puts it in this category of an RV. You add 2 inches to the width of the length of this. This one happens to be 34 feet with plus a 10-foot porch. But the living area, if you add 2 inches to it, it's greater than 400 square feet, and in my opinion, could be considered a mobile home, which I believe I'm grandfathered in for. So that's, and the quality is just, I am a structural engineer. The quality is fantastic. I always wanted a log cabin. So the roof slopes are 6 on 12, where there's a loft, which this has. They increase the pitch to, I believe, 8 on 12. So it's just, it's just a top product for the money, and that's what I'm trying to get in here. So I think you can see the plan, the orange area. I'll get up just a second here. So the existing mobile home is 58 feet long, and it's like 5 feet at the back end from the property line, and runs to this point. And what I want to put in is 34 feet plus a 10-foot porch, so it's this long. So it increases the zone. This is at the back, 18 feet. It gives more, less impervious area, so there's improvements there. I want to make it a nicer area, so that it gives more things to do with the property. And the other important thing is, if I had to do maintenance on that, like the lines that run under the trailer, I don't think I could get a plumber or anybody that would want to go underneath that, because it's just so old. They've been fine for years. They're heat taped and haven't had a problem, but, and the slope has just sort of, it just kind of washes down with rain or whatever, fluffs down, and it's up against it's loose material, but it's up against the top of the skirting. So with this new approach, I want to try to create at least a 4-foot path behind it, maybe a short height retaining wall, but that's getting into the construction. But so that's the object. And I believe this variance is strictly for, to use this RV on wheels as a principal, a sole principal use. And then if I have that okay, then I will start talking to, number one, Lancaster. I'll probably make a visit down there. I've been on the phone. They're great to work with. They're fantastic. They have them all over the place. I'll work with them, and then I will work with some septic designs, septic engineers. One of the comments that was on that stuff that I gave you earlier was that there's no construction documents on the septic. Well, I'm not going to spend time doing engineering for the septic until I know that this is acceptable. So, and I talked to all the abutters, all the abutters, and they're all in support.
Richard,
So I
could I
think
ask,
I covered everything here.
The changes.
Richard, could I ask a couple questions? Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
So you mentioned it's going to be smaller.
Yeah.
It's roughly going to be about 14 feet shorter, right? It's 34, you got a 10-foot deck.
So with the porch, it's the total length of the structure with the 10-foot porch, it's about 44 feet.
Right.
And it's 12 feet wide.
So it's a non-conforming structure now, so it's going to be less non-conforming. You're actually improving.
Yes,
Okay. Your sideline clearance, if I've read correctly, was 5 feet, is now going to about 18 feet.
yes.
And then a couple of the critical points. You mentioned the septic, so if this gets approved, you're going to move forward. This would be contingent upon, obviously, a DES-approved septic system. Do you have permanent water now? I thought I read that you have a well.
Yeah, no, in the application, I marked up the deed to where that statement was. So we just sold, there was that well did feed 181 East Side Drive, but we just, I'm sorry, June 18th, I think it was, I made the date wrong, the dates kept floating, but we just recently sold it, and in that whole process, there was a new septic system put in for that residence, and a well was added also. So, so it's separated from that was, it's no longer.
But you
So
have your-
this well is just going to be for
Okay.
178 East Side Drive.
So you have your own dedicated permanent.
Yeah, and the well is about, I think it's shown, the existing well, it's just off the corner,
Yeah,
in this area here.
yeah. That is I'm familiar with the lot, and it's a extremely difficult lot. It shoots right up from your backyard.
So it is, but if I can do this, it's my views with that trailer. I do a lane along here, and you look out that window.
Yeah, nice. Now, you've mentioned your residence is in Nashua.
Yeah.
So this is going to continue to be a seasonal.
It's seasonal, but seasonal to me is all year long. I come up weekends. My Patty doesn't like she doesn't like the summer. She likes the winters.
Yeah.
So we come up in the winter time and just enjoy the area.
Right. Either way,
And
it's
stay
not-
overnight, things like that. So it'll be weekends or weeks. It's not going to be a permanent residence.
It's not your primary residence.
Right.
More questions, Joe?
Yeah, I have some questions. It's, you, in this new finding here, we have, you said you made the upgrades to the septic system that were requested of you back in 1991.
Yeah, right, those that were cited was prior to me purchasing, we purchased the property 2005.
So there's no longer.
And so I recognize I have a copy of that thing that says a metal tank. There's and I have I have a recent 23, typical assessment report, but there's a septic tank. Oh, right here, there's a septic tank here that you can open. And then there's, I guess what you call, it's concrete covering, right? It's called a dry well. So it goes from there into the dry well. I suspect that was the leaching field improvement at that time. I'm not sure. But this is what I've what's always been there. It was tested when I bought the place, it functioned well. They did some other, they raised one of the pipes going into that.
But you don't,
Worked on.
but you don't know if there's a leaching field or not.
No, I don't think it's so here into that, dry well. And if I'm able to put this trail, I want to upgrade it. Have a system and your first reactions are probably, how you doing this site? But, I had a septic design done for this house before I sold it. And that's even closer to the water. And there are all kinds of techniques out there. And there's new technology, came up with a reasonable design for this. That's been incorporated, and something similar can be done here. It's actually, since the new requirement came out for people to rent their places, they had to upgrade their septic system. Down on the road here, there's a lot of rental little cottages. They're all upgrading their tanks and pumping up to the top of the hill up here. So I've been talking with septic.
So now septic systems, but shifting gears over to the cabin itself. It's called a cabin because it kind of is. But that's an RV designed to look like a cabin, which I've seen them. They are nice. But the plumbing inside, like an RV, is not acceptable for permanent residence because the quality of it's designed for temporary use, a few weekends here and there in an RV.
Well,
So but you have a mobile home, which is what you're replacing, has a quality of plumbing which is not really equal to the level of a brick and mortar home, but it's acceptable to building codes. Where does this RV cabin sit? I'm just thinking if it's,
so are you talking the internal plumbing before?
yes, because that would be that would be why code would prohibit using call it a camper, an RV, but a campsite type camper as a permanent residence.
Yeah, I don't know specifically what they're, I'm sure I can easily find out.
I'm sure
I was
Lynn has.
speaking earlier from the structural perspective, that's my expertise.
Right.
It's still, I know they have these everywhere. I mean, people use them.
Use them for permanent residence?
People have used them for permanent residence. They'll allow them to use their campground, but there's, up in Vermont, they got them out in the valley there, they use it. So, it's something I would certainly check and make sure it's got the, see what I can do with them. Their quality, are we talking gauge in the pipe or things like that? I don't know what the specific plumbing requirements are code-wise, but.
Schedule, insert number
The
here. I don't know
schedule
what
of the
the cabin's
pipe.
supposed to be.
But, so those are all questions that I discussed with them, and they're great to work with, but, that really, I appreciate that, because I have been wondering, well, what are the things, code-wise, do I need to be concerned with? My biggest important thing was snow loads and stuff like that, and, it actually satisfies the New Hampshire code, so that's certainly something I would check out. But again, I'm not gonna be using it for, permanent residence. But
Patricia?
it is something that I will,
Patricia, if you want to, why don't you come up? Come on up and, please, because we need you to speak in the in there, okay? Thank you.
There was another zoning section that wasn't on his application that is in the zoning section. He just looked at it.
So
He
the
didn't put it on his
wire
application,
above your
which
house
is
is only
lots of
14
acres.
feet?
But no manufactured
Not
homes.
the overhead
no
utility?
RVs are permitted.
No, it's much higher over the,
So even if you say yes. to
over
this,
the mobile home.
he's still
It's well above the roof, you know, what.
Just turn-
It's just
Push
that
that button
as
and
it
you can
goes.
use your mic. Right in front of you.
No,
Yeah.
Yes,
I
that's
heard-
it. Yeah, you got it. Oh, you shut it off again.
heard that.
There you go.
The green light changing.
green
yes.
is go.
I don't know if internal.
Read this here. Okay. Read this thing tomorrow.
But up here, something here, we have the top of the hill here. It's pretty close.
I'm just thinking, because is there enough space to build a house? Is there enough height there? Is it high enough to even build a structure there? But judging by the picture.
The thing is,
No, you want to build a home you want to build a home, right? Or you're gonna put a that'll be the permanent structure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I thought that was temporary. Okay,
That's what I was thinking.
all right.
I was gonna, that's the reason why I really want to,
could you
add
for
on.
the record, state your name, please?
Pardon me, yes, it's Patricia DeVana at J1 Black Oak Drive, Nashua. However, Alton, we've been coming up, like we said, for like, our youngest son, our youngest is 43 years, so we love it up here. He would love to retire, so that's why, up here. So we were looking, and I'm still in the back of my mind saying, if I would like to someday, we were looking at some place that I would feel comfortable and really nice, like at home, because there's 2 bedrooms in these, and the way they're made, the kitchen and the living room, it's very it's very pretty, it's very well put. They know how to make storage, and it's beautiful when you walk in. So you don't feel like you're, by any means, an RV. If anything, it's a small mini log cabin. And when you're walking into the porch, it's very nicely put together that no matter where we are in here, we can see across the street at the water. I mean, the way it's all based that we could put it in, but also the structure and the way how comfortable it is. I would live there for the rest of my retirement if I choose to. Whatever we have there, to live up there, but this especially would be the best. It's just beautiful, comfortable, well-made, and 2-bedroom, living room, like you'd walk into a little house. So, I am really sometimes on the line, because we have all our 3 kids around with all these grandchildren around us, and sometimes think I might like to live up there instead. So that was in my mind of what we picked for this. There was a little mobile home, not little, but a regular mobile home also as a, how do you say, a side base, but like he was saying, they're not well-made, and I had a little porch, it's adorable. So I'm helping find what I know I would enjoy, my house up here.
Sure.
And so, and this lot of land is just perfect for the size and where it is, because he loves the boating and what have you. And I would love to sit on the porch or the dock and enjoy. But that's what I want just to include, that I helped pick out stuff, knowing that it's a house. I feel like I'm walking into a little house, and it's comfortable, and a big kitchen. The kitchen's bigger than mine at home. And 2 bedrooms, whatever. When you look at it or walk into it, it doesn't, no way an RV, though it's labeled that,
Yeah.
you know.
The only thing I have in this catalog here is this is all plumbing included, parentheses, PEX pipe for water lines and PVC pipe for sewer lines. I don't know what the schedule is, but I'm certainly gonna check that out. And
More questions from the board?
Yeah, so Richard, this is built with wheels on it, correct? It can be towed.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah,
It does have-
right, it
That's
could
not
be,
your-
it's, but that, and that's,
That's not
Yes.
your intention.
huh?
Your intention is to get it wheeled to this lot.
Yes,
And have it permanently.
they deliver it.
Okay.
They have a crew, I understand they're very good, they deliver it, it's my responsibility to prepare the foundation, if you will, which would be, most likely, it's gonna be a concrete pad.
Yeah.
All the electrical, I already got a team, I got an electrician that has done these before for these trailers. So, you know, the electrical stuff would be right there, ready to receive it, and it's all gonna be permanent hookups.
Permanent
Yeah.
wires
Yes.
and septic
Gonna be
and
permanent.
water.
And may I add one thing, is that our mobile home right now is scary with its wheels to want to take out. It's like
Oh,
so old, it's gonna last, so they both have wheels. But that's noted a mobile home, but it has more, so they all have wheels, so therefore.
It'll be put on blocks.
Okay.
When it comes, yeah.
Okay.
So a
The
couple-
current home is gonna be, if this goes through, the
Oh,
current
have
home
to.
would be taken out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah,
got
that,
moved.
the first thing, once
Yeah,
I know I have a go.
Right.
That comes out of there. If someone,
okay.
I know there's certain requirements and whether it gets demolished or someone can take it away, but it's gonna get out of there, then we can work with what we have and.
okay.
It's dangerous, like.
Got
it's
it.
just
We
not
got it.
doable.
So Richard, Patricia, okay. We're in a quagmire here because we have ordinances and rules that we have to live by.
Right,
Okay, and one of the, there's a restriction, okay, under section 412 in this district, okay, it says no manufactured home or recreational vehicle shall be permitted for residential purposes in the Lakeshore Residential Zone.
oh, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I'm aware of it.
I didn't know
Okay,
And if I were to, that was one of the comments that I saw, and they said, oh, this might have to be applied for too. And my whole thought process in looking at all the zoning requirements was, and I also looked at the table, the table in the zoning for the uses. And if you look at that, number 6, manufactured homes, under Lakeshore Residential, it says no, all right, just like you said. And if you go to number 10, which is pre-site built housing, it says yes, okay? But because of the hardship, whatnot, and pre-site built housing, I mean, that's the same as a the modular home.
Yeah.
All right, well, it doesn't work here, I can't even get it on the site, you know, it doesn't fit, so.
Okay.
I mean, this is part of the 412 an exception.
Prior to
If,
setting,
if I had to do that separately, like that question was, oh, you may have to apply for this, I think about that, my presentation is the same thing. I mean, there's nothing different
wait.
going to say.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, you need a variance from that section.
So we would need to include a variance for that section also, okay, in order to be amongst the right rules, okay? So, does the board feel comfortable? Does the board feel comfortable with including that this variance includes section 412 in the LI district that states,
That is what I was going to suggest, because It's the same submission.
I'm sorry?
Don't we have an application for all this like we do for everybody? Needs a formal application.
It would be another application. There is an app.
Frank, did you finish it? I didn't hear your whole question.
Well, I was trying to include this 412 into this variance so that we could help this applicant, but we actually don't do that for anybody else. Okay, so we would need you, but believe me when I tell you, we understand your plight here, and you absolutely have a hardship. There's no question
No
about it.
question there.
I think this board has read through this. You have a hardship on the topography. You have the hardship with the co-op. You know, you have a lot of hardships. This is a very tough site. But under our rules of jurisdiction, okay, someone down the road could say you didn't get a variance for 412 and you have done all this work, and we would then have to address that. So
But why can't you, as you were just suggesting,
I just heard from our code enforcer, okay, that you didn't apply for 412, okay?
Why was he not?
but there's a first for every.
I'm sorry?
Why was he not advised to do that?
Was he advised to do?
I don't know. I didn't talk to you before you came in. So can we just go to the variance that we have on the sheet first to see where that one goes? And we have a variance in front of us now.
Well, yeah, I think maybe we should,
In regards to 412, on letter G, existing non-conforming uses shall be protected as provided for under the other provisions of this ordinance.
Yes.
My belief is he's grandfathered in now with a
Yes.
current mobile / RV home. It's been there for 40-something years. We're not changing the use. It's actually the benefit for the people, never mind
And
the abutters.
it's a better non-conforming.
exactly, it's less non-conforming
Less
is
non-conforming.
what he's achieving, and
So,
it's
could you
already
read-
a
could you read
mobile
that
home
again,
there.
please?
Yeah.
Yes, that was what my notes say too, that it doesn't, I didn't even think it applied based on that process.
The chairman has a good,
Yeah, there's letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and most of them are all, they're similar in the sense that they're talking about anything that's built after March 14th, 1995. This has certainly been grandfathered in. So the last one is existing non-conforming uses, which this is, an existing non-conforming use, shall be protected as provided for under the other provisions of this ordinance. So it's an existing non-conforming use. That says to me it's protected as provided for under the other provisions of this ordinance. It's not a change of use. It's an upgrade. It's actually,
It's an
it's an
improvement,
improvement.
it's a property improvement and less non-conforming.
There is a distinct definition difference between an RV and a manufactured home. Manufactured home is made to withstand a 90-pound snow load and 115-mile-an-hour winds. And it's anchored to the ground. It has very strict regulations. It has its own section of a building code that is put in place to keep mobile homes there.
So,
This is a recreational vehicle that has a different definition, and it's not allowed in this situation.
can I?
You can't just lump them together and call them one of the same because they are not. That RV that sits there doesn't require to be tied to the ground, and what is it gonna do when the wind comes down through the valley?
but
So
we could, you know what?
you can't put them together. If there's a grandfathered use, then it has to be a manufactured home. It cannot be an RV.
It will,
I would talk to this electrician and these plumbers you said who have done the installation of these Lancaster homes elsewhere, find out how they approached it. Because I agree with what Norm is saying, that's my concern. This is an RV, it's built as an RV. They're using the term RV, and our code says you cannot use an RV as a permanent residence, so you gotta change that description of RV into whatever the classification is for mobile home or manufactured home, whatever they call it now.
May I
The
please
def-
look at that?
And maybe the
the def-
manufacturer.
for 1 second,
can help you with
please.
that.
The definition of the RV is 400 square, if the area of a livable space inside is 400 square feet or less. If I would add 2 inches to either the length of this or the width of this thing, is downgraded to 400 square feet. And that's the definition of the RV.
If I could add something to that.
Sure.
Right next door to us, next door to us that we just sold, our RV is a twin to that house that just sold. No one would know that is an RV. They did it over like a house. It's at 170. Our house that we just sold is 181 on the water. To the left of our house is a house that just sold. It's the twin mobile home of our mobile home that's across the street. No one would ever know that because they did a beautiful job of making it look like a house, and it just sold for 1.6 million. So this is what that mobile home, which is ours across the street, that's the twins. And we got this information, and it's a known fact, from the previous owners that we bought from the juries. And they've lived up here for all year round for 40-some odd years before we
I'd like
bought
to
it.
interrupt just for a second.
But we can-
This is why I asked for the pamphlet.
Uh-huh.
In my opinion, looking at this is a pre-manufactured log home.
Yes,
This is not an RV. This is a
exactly.
pre-manufactured log home
It's a-
that is on a trailer, that is delivered to your property, and the trailer is removed, and it is set. This is a pre-fabricated home. This is not an RV. So
And I'm from,
you look at
and
this
I'm,
right here. These are actual logs. These are actually processed logs that are grooved so that they sit like a log home with gaskets in between.
Oh.
There's no thin walls.
Right.
This is an actual log home.
and I am familiar with the anchors.
Take a look.
Who's manufacturing it?
I'm a structural engineer, it's my expertise. This is a wood cabin, all right? It's heavier than if I went and got a standard mobile home, all right? It's heavier, which doesn't have anchors into a slab. This slab, I can put anchors in, that's absolutely no problem. But that's not gonna go anywhere from wind. And I have calculations in my notes back there of the snow load requirements. New Hampshire has their own code in conjunction with Uniform Building Code and the snow load for Alton in that area, the ground snow load is almost 82 pounds per square foot. All right, and I have checked, I have ran it for unheated, and the roof slopes are 6 on 12, and where the loft is, it's steeper. And they have told me what their design loads are, and it satisfies the New Hampshire codes.
And environmentally, it's much cleaner and much better, the environment opposed to what is sitting there now.
The wheels,
So
Are taken away
dilapidated.
when, after they deliver it, the wheels are removed?
it gets put on blocks, and I think the wheels get removed, they can be removed. I don't, they talk about, oh, if you ever wanted to sell it back to it, we might buy it, you know, but I'm not interested in that, but it definitely gonna be put on, they actually provide a plan for the block locations to support the frame.
Thanks.
It's just the environment too, it's so.
My turn to look.
Yes. Yes.
And this one's the Sierra model.
Oh, yeah.
The one on the cover is
Manufactured log.
So
Is that he mentioned.
This particular pamphlet brochure specifies it's a park model cabin. So in your nomenclature, the RV needs to be taken out. It's not a
Yeah,
recreational
this is
vehicle.
basically
This is not something that somebody would drive around to KOA campgrounds for a weekend.
Right.
This is something that, this is a park model cabin or a park model trailer is basically a trailer, is that it's brought into a site and it's left there. And it's a park model is because it's basically a manufactured home that is dropped in there, and it doesn't have the ability to be pulled out unless with great effort. Like when you're gonna take yours out of there, it's not gonna be an easy process, the current home you have. So this is a very distinct difference. It is not a recreational vehicle. I think that's really making this kind of muddy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Much heavier.
Much heavier.
It's real wood, it's
Yeah.
real logs,
Just-
exterior walls.
And you walk in and you just feel I mean, it feels very well done.
I mean, I understand that they had to set some criteria for an RV that, I mean, they can be 10 feet, 20 feet, and I have no idea where they drew the line other than this 400 square feet, and, you know.
I personally think this is a more durable, situation than a manufactured home. I've seen manufactured homes, I've stayed in manufactured homes, and you could almost put your finger through the wall. It's literally, it's built like a 1x3.
Very, very thin. I've done repair work.
Right.
Done repair work on them, and it's altogether different than what this is.
Yeah, yeah. It's and actually, and when you go down the street, east side, you will see some pretty little, the color and everything, it would blend in so beautifully. It wouldn't look like a sore thumb either, is what I'm trying to say. It looks like a little log cabin. It's adorable.
And that's a plus too, as I mentioned in the application, it looks like a site-built structure, you know?
I didn't read on in there, what does it have for heating system?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
The heating system uses the split units,
Mini splits?
the mini splits, and
AC
for this
and for-
particular model, there's two of them. There's one in the back bedroom, and then there's one in the, sort of the living area, and then they have, if for winter use, they have a higher grade one that
Is it electric or propane?
you can have either one.
Either one, or backup?
Yeah, I think their standard is electric. I thought about the propane, because no, yeah, those are, I'm pretty sure those are electric. And, yeah, and the hot water heater is electric too.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Okay, now I'm gonna, unless there's any more questions from the board, I'm gonna put it to public input.
Toilet ceramic?
Pardon me?
Is it a ceramic is it a ceramic toilet or is it plastic?
Yeah, it's a standard, the taller ones and
Ceramic?
ceramic.
It is ceramic?
And I'd like to thank our neighbors and our Dougie and Karen. Karen just bought our house, her and her husband. And then Dougie, for years, has always been our neighbor. And they've been so good, but they come to even support because that mobile home's got to go. No, I'm only joking, but
Yeah,
it does.
I know the property is.
Seriously, not good, not nice. Climate, everything.
Any more questions from the board? Joe? No? All set?
No, I mean, I think it's a great home. I just want to
Ken?
make sure that we can do this legally.
Ken?
You know, it says no RVs and they represent our
Okay.
reasons.
All right.
So we can make our own decision.
Yeah,
It's
we're
not
moving on.
RV, it's
Okay,
not
great. All right.
RV, although,
Okay.
although.
You guys can
What?
keep that. You can let them keep that. But
Yeah, no, you can have it back. You can take it back. But I wanted to look at it for that reason. I wanted to see what the material is.
Salmon, isn't salmon almost one? That,
Okay.
they
Get the right hat on.
Richard, if you'd sit down, then I can finish. I gotta do here. Okay?
Yes.
So, great. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. So I'm gonna open it up to the public. Is there anyone here that, in the public, that is against this variance, that would like to speak in terms of being against it? Hearing none and seeing none, okay. We're going to move it. Is there anyone in the audience that is in favor of this and would like to speak to the board that's in favor of this application? Please, come forward.
We have to.
We can go.
All right,
We can-
Even if just one of you gets up for 1 second.
just, yeah.
I'm Doug Potter, 189 and 185 East Side Drive, Bayview Condominiums. I've owned that property for 30 years. Rich and Patty bought it off
The jury.
the juries. You probably know about Bayview Condominiums. I was in front of this board and many boards, many times. But Rich and Patty are great, and I've spoken with all the other owners at Bayview. They couldn't make it up tonight. They're all in favor of this. They think it'll be a great addition to the neighborhood and seriously, the town. That trailer is just, you've gone by it. It is a mess. Absolute mess. And would like to see a new structure there. I know that property is very hard to build on. My nephew was looking at buying that property off Patty and Rich to build a house. And I told him, I says, you better have deep pockets, you know, and a long time to try to get permits to build on that site.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they were nice enough to offer them the house, so they bought the house. And they made an agreement with the docks and whatever for usage, which is great. You know, they've been great neighbors for 25 years. They've been up there. We've never had a problem. We help each other out. So, you know, hopefully it'll help the drainage problem coming down, you know, off that hill with heavy rainstorms, you know, that floods the catch basins. So that'll be great. New septic system. I love that. Absolutely needs it. You know, steel tank and concrete blocks. That's the old cesspool type. So get a new system in there. I'll be happy.
Still tank's gone.
I have no idea if it's gone or not.
I'm sorry?
I don't know if it's gone or not.
He said it was gone. The steel tank is gone, isn't it?
The steel tank, yeah.
Concrete. Yeah, concrete.
And it goes into a dry well. Yeah. So,
And everything was exposed, I got located the plans.
sure, we're happy to see it if it passes.
Thank you.
To see if you can,
Thank you.
see a new structure.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak in favor? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Karen Glue. My husband, Joe Glue, and I purchased the property across the street from the Devanas at 181 Eastside Drive. As our Uncle Doug alluded to, we spent an considerable amount of time looking at the property across the street, 78, to see if we could build on that property. And it was extremely difficult and cost prohibitive. So the Devanas were very nice enough to offer us the lake house, which is what we wanted anyways. And so we've been living there for about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we completely support, both of us, my husband Joe and I completely support them taking out that eyesore of a mobile home and putting in this beautiful mobile home, log home that they've shown us pictures, and it would just be terrific for the whole neighborhood and for the town if it's allowed. We would love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in favor? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Richard Shea. I'm a member of the Board of Selectmen, but certainly speaking for myself and no one else. I now know why I ran for the Board of Selectmen and not for the Board of Zoning Adjustment. And you get up against this kind of situation. It seems like there are all pluses and virtually no minuses in this application. Everything is for the better. The hardship is certainly there in spades. The only downside is that definition of this particular unit as an RV. And it sounds like it really isn't one if there was some way to get it reclassified. If not, I would urge the board to find some way to approve this, but please be careful not to set a precedent so that somebody else can come in and say, hey, you let this guy do it, so why can't I do it? 'Cause
Exactly. Next thing you know, someone's
that's a
gonna make a
risk
pop-up tent
down
trailer
the
wanting
road.
to set it up.
Yeah, but you guys are a clever group, and I know you can come up with a way to do this. And I'm glad I don't have to decide. Thank you.
Richard.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Okay. Anyone else in support of,
I just have to add one more little thing. When they were putting in the septic system, my husband's, part of his what do you say, instinct is constantly checking how they're doing because he designs bridges and highways. So he has to always, whatever he designed has to be checked. He was up at our property at least 3 times a week watching what they were doing, every little thing, and any little Mickey Mouse he would catch. And they'd say, didn't, and so it did catch one thing and caught it. But I know it was thorough and well done, what they did for our new septic tank due to his instinctive behavior with the way he is. But anyway, all is good, and I thank you all for hearing us.
No, thank you.
thank you, Patricia. Okay.
And I wish you the best with that. Those are nice. I've been in them. I've looked at those. They're nice.
The board feel, does the board feel that we can go to the worksheet?
I think so.
I do.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. All right. So. Joe, will you start us off, please?
I will. Public interest, the variance will not be contrary to public interest.
Tim,
We're going this way?
we're gonna go this way. Right.
I agree it will not be contrary to the public interest. This is not a market departure from the properties that are already in that area.
I agree as well. I agree.
I agree.
And with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which it is proposed. The state Supreme Court teaches us the criteria for deciding this one are pretty much the same as deciding the public interest, so I agree it is within harmony.
I agree as well. I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done. This is a very difficult lot, difficult property. The use is not changing. This is going to be a major improvement and a comfortable place to live and be accepted very much so by the neighborhood. I agree.
I agree.
I agree. It's going to make my Sunday morning trip to the dump more pleasurable to see that house.
That's for sure. It will.
The request will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties. It's been spoken to, at least during the public input, and for people that are familiar with the property itself. This will certainly not diminish the value. If anything, it will enhance the value and the safety around that area.
I agree.
Agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Good. Hardship. For purposes of this subparagraph, unnecessary hardship means that owing to special conditions of this property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, no fair and substantial relationships exists between the general public's purposes of the ordinance and the provision and specific application of the provision of the property. And I say yes to that, and the proposed use is a reasonable one. I'll add, this property has more hardships than I've seen in a long time, okay, at this board. It's got topography that goes up 60 feet within, I don't know, 20 feet. It's nuts, okay? One. Two, how anybody could put an electrical line in the middle of a lot and think that that is a reasonable thing, never mind the applicant trying for 13 months to get a reasonable answer and position with the electric company, not finding a way to move the poles to the left or the right of the property lines is just beyond me. And that is an incredible hardship to this property and to the applicants. And that's, I guess, all I have to say about that.
I agree on both.
I agree as well.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, so that's,
I'll take a shot at a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Can we make a condition or something, a statement?
Septic, septic.
Let's say yes, a septic, but I also want to make a statement, if I may. The statement that I have to say is that in looking at the brochure and your manufacturer's catalog, this is not classified, in my opinion, as an RV. This is not an RV typical trailer tag along, if you will, or typical mobile home that you would see. This is a manufactured log cabin. It's a log cabin that is on a frame that is movable. Once it's set and the wheels are removed and set on a proper foundation, it is a log cabin.
and I'd like to, I wonder if the board, I'd like to get an opinion from each board member that what Paul just said, okay, that we all agree on. I personally agree with what Paul is saying.
Well, we go in order.
How does that, the rest of the board feel? Do they
Yeah, I
feel?
was going to suggest the approval motion, describe it as a Lancaster log cabin structure.
Thank you.
As opposed to using the language of the.
Of an RV, right, exactly.
I think it's a new product to the market. It's a new design. It's a new approach to mobile homes, RVs, that whole genre.
It clearly
It just
distinguishes,
hasn't been come across our plate.
it distinguishes it from the RV.
Tim, would you make the motion, please?
Sure. I move that we approve the application for variance in KC 25-29 as a request from variance from Article 300, Section 356 to permit a Lancaster log cabin structure as a principal residence on that lot.
I second.
I'm sorry, and a condition would be
Condition
yes,
for the
approved septic.
Septic system approval. Two conditions.
Yes.
Got it? Okay.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. Good luck. Okay.
That would get submitted, and that would be development, and then be approved. The term, and to me, that would be the construction docking the system. That is bringing in, you know, right, just spread over lot. I'm just, if you got big,
Yeah, that would be something you'd have to work with the code enforcement
Code
office.
enforcement. that I would take the wheels and use them for planters.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Have a great evening.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, would you like the rest of these copies that you gave us? You had, quite a few extra copies here. Yeah. Thank you.
What the heck did I do with them? Okay. Moving right along. This is mine. Next one. That is yours. Yeah, this. Doing stuff like that. Okay. Case Z 25-30, Varney Engineering, Tom Varney, agent, Amy Leone, and Jeffrey LaRose, owners. Map 22, lot 25, Varney, 50 Varney Road, variance and equitable waiver for the rural zone. Please come forward. Tom, can you please state your name, please?
Yeah, Tom Viney, Viney Engineering.
And Amy,
Amy Leone.
okay, and Jeffrey?
Jeffrey LaRose.
Great, thank you. Welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Mr.
Tom.
Chairman, I'll move that we approve the application.
Yeah, we just gotta approve the application.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Tom.
Okay, Amy Leone and Jeffrey LaRose recently bought this property and plan to add a second floor to the building. The existing footprint will remain the same. New Hampshire State DES approved septic system will be installed. The cottage will remain seasonal. And the New Hampshire DES shoreline permit and septic design approvals are required. So this property is on Half Moon Lake, it's on the end of Viney Road, which is off Route 28. And it's up against a wetland stream. It's an existing cottage. And we had the land surveyed, so we know where the property lines are. I have pictures in the packet here. I have a tax map. Gives you an idea of any property. They have blueprints for the house, et cetera. So this lot is small, 8,000 square feet. And a lot of it is occupied by a stream, perennial, an intermittent stream with woods around it, which is healthy for the lake. It has a buffer zone for animals and insects and so forth. And the land where the house is open space, but it's limited. And it's close to the lake. It's within the building side setbacks. There's no encroachment there. The encroachment is towards the lake, not 30 feet, like it's supposed to be. It's 15 feet off the edge of the lake. So they would like to add a second floor, keep it on the same footprint and actually on the same foundation. So we're asking for a variance for that to replace the structure and go up a floor. I've shown that on this plan. I have existing and proposed diagrams of the building, the height shown here and so forth. It doesn't have a state-approved septic system. I designed one in 2005. It was approved, but not installed. So it's an old antiquated septic system. And at that time, I designed well, let's see, maybe Josh can correct me. Josh Tebow, he's the engineer here with us. I designed a holding tank and I ended up with a septic design and vice versa. But anyway, this time around, we're gonna design a holding tank. We know that's what's gonna be approved by the state. And that's because there isn't room and we're close to the stream and we're close to the lake and we don't have area to do much else. So that's the state-approved septic system that is something that we're doing. And shoreland, we have stormwater measures to capture the water off the eaves, to infiltrate that into the ground. The land is a sandy frontage. It doesn't have rocks or armor or rocky shoreline. It has sand that comes in off the stream and moves around with the waves, the wind and the waves. So the stormwater runoff is important so that we not have runoff that will go to the lake and wash out some of the shoreline, which that happens. So we're protecting the lake. And we're at the end of the road. So there's nothing else around there except the neighbors on the left-hand side. We can't see the neighbor on the right or anybody in the back.
Nobody behind you?
So we can answer any questions.
Yeah, Tom, yeah, if you don't mind.
Sure, yes.
So you're keeping the same footprint?
Yes.
You're going up. Very tough lot. Questions about the septic? You mentioned, Tom, what you'd be going forward with, the holding tank. I think it's worth noting, a zoning officer, makes this point on the worksheet, in regards to the lot being problematic as far as the septic goes, considering the design and such, it's all well and good from what I'm reading here, but currently with the septic design is not approved. You just mentioned you're going to go for a new one that the state would approve. So just as long as that's on the record, you understand where at least the zoning officer is. I'm reading based off of that. And you understand that going forward, but there's no abutters behind you. There's not a problem with the height, and it's going up 1 story. And it's staying on the same footprint. Okay.
Going from 15 feet to 24 feet. Right, or in the height.
More questions from the board? Joe?
Yes, so, Mr. Varney, what you're asking for with the variance is actually the variance in the language of the special exception to non-conforming. So you're really asking for a variance from special exception language, is that right? Yeah, it's a non-conforming structure and either alteration or replacement. So the special exception says you can't increase this footage, the square footage, so that's what you're asking for. Yeah, we're kind of avoiding that question of a special exception. All right, that makes sense, thank you.
Have you read the zoning officer's report?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you were aware of it, okay?
Yeah, we can talk about septic approvals back through the years, if you'd like.
I'm sorry?
I can enlighten you on septic laws and rules going back quite a few years, and we can get into that discussion. But it's kind of taken over. That approval expired after 4 years.
Right.
And now we're obtaining a new septic approval, which doesn't have that condition on it. They eliminated that condition a long time ago. I've kind of forgotten about it, but it was in existence for 10 or 12, 15 years. But the state moved beyond that for different reasons.
Sure.
And that's where we are today. So the condition on the septic approval will be that will be a seasonal use,
Right.
which I didn't mention, but that's what we're doing here. Or I've got it in the notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you read what the enforcement officer, our
Yeah, I'm glad she brought that
zoning
up.
officer, and I'm glad she brought it up, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's important for the applicant to know that there could be issues with this, okay? But hopefully there won't be, you know? Again, it's a very tough lot, you know, and, you know, we don't want to see people spending money and then all of a sudden saying to themselves, what do we do? What happened here, you know? This board is sympathetic to these small lots, but we also have ordinances and rules that we have to try to live by. And you're doing the right thing by having Mr. Varney involved in this to do it appropriately, you know? So, and I beg your difference, Tom, you don't forget about anything, okay? So I don't know where the hell you forgot about this, okay, you know? What's
I
going on?
forget about the new stuff. I don't really understand the new law.
At the ripe age of 29, I'm surprised that you're having this issue, you know?
Yeah, I can go back in the 70s and really clarify you on everything you want to know.
I got it, okay. More questions from the board?
No.
Okay, can we go, public input. Is there anybody, in this application, Z 2530, that is not in favor of this, applicant's proposal? If they're here, hearing none, seeing none, okay, we'll close that portion. Is there anyone here in favor of this proposal and application? Hearing none and seeing none, we're gonna close the public input. God, that's great, okay. Are there any more Tom, you got anything else you wanna add?
No, I'm good on that. We're all good here.
You all set?
Yeah.
Okay. Amy, Jeffrey, you got anything you want? Good.
Thank you.
That's perfect. Can we go to the worksheet? Yep. Okay. We got one. Tim, I'd like you to start it off, please.
Please do. Public, yeah, we'd have to do 3 worksheets. So this one will be for the variance from Article 300, Section 320E2. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman?
Okay.
In that case, the variance will not be contrary to the public interest. There's not a dramatic change to the neighborhood or big impact. This is simply expanding a current existing use.
Which way are we going, Frank? Me?
This way.
This way.
This way, Paul.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
The request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, and with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which is proposed. This is a very, very difficult lot to work with. There are not a lot of options, and this is the best possible solution for a single-family home, and I believe that this is exactly what the ordinance would look for, to do the best they can, and it follows in suit with the master plan.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Substantial justice by granting the variance, substantial justice will be done. This is exactly what we're looking for in our town as far as taking some of these old seasonal cottages and refurbishing them. Same footprint, difficult lot. I certainly feel substantial justice will be done for the same use.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
values of surrounding properties. The request will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties. As a matter of fact, it will only enhance the value of the properties around it, with everything being what the applicant is trying to propose, and will do nothing but add value not only to their property, but to the surrounding properties.
I agree for all the reasons Frank just said.
I agree.
I agree as well. I agree.
He's getting this one. All right, hardship. For purposes of this subparagraph, unnecessary hardship means that owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area. One, no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of the provision of the property. That's yes, and the proposed use is a reasonable one. That is a yes, and I'm going to leave it at that.
I agree. I think the applicant adequately outlined the hardships here. It's small lot, wetlands, and a stream going through. So I agree, and I also agree, the use is not changing. It continues to be a reasonable one.
I agree for the same reasons.
I agree.
I agree. Okay. All right. So, can I get a motion?
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we grant the variance for KZ 25-30 from Article 300, Section 320E2.
I'll second.
Also septic system? Do we need to have that in there? About an approved septic system?
Condition for septic.
Yes, with the
Condition.
condition
Of
that
approve.
that the approval of a state-approved septic system.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next one. We have two more for this applicant.
Mhm.
Do I need to do public opinion, public?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Tom, do you have anything more that you want to say on? Oh, no, we're fine. Amy, Jeff? No? Okay. Does the board have any more questions on this variance? Is this the variance that we're doing, or the equitable waiver?
This is the second variance.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to open it up to the public. Is there anyone in the public, okay, that is against the variance on Article 300, 327A1? Seeing none, hearing none. Is there anyone in favor of this applicant's application for this variance? Seeing none, hearing none. Okay, I think we can move on to the worksheet. Paul, could you start?
Sure. Public interest. The variance will not be contrary to the public interest.
I agree.
I agree.
Oh, me? I agree.
I agree as well.
The request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, and with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which it is proposed. Much like we spoke on the first variance, I believe this is certainly in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance and the intent of the master plan.
I agree.
Agreed.
I agree.
Agree.
By granting this variance, substantial justice will be done. Certainly, the applicant has indicated the issues with this particular lot, okay? And I believe that this is substantial justice for the applicant, being a very tough lot to work with.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. I agree.
Values of surrounding properties. The request will not diminish the value of surrounding properties. I think it'll probably help improve them a bit.
I agree.
I agree as well.
I agree.
I agree.
Hardship. I think the applicant has more than adequately outlined the hardship with the property. That is that it's a small lot, close against the lake, wetlands, and a stream running through it, making it very difficult to do anything other than what's been proposed here. And the proposal is a reasonable one and a reasonable use.
I agree for the same reasons. I agree.
I agree for the same reasons.
Agreed.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to grant variance request for Article 300, Section 327A1.
I'll second.
And also with the condition of the septic system installed, state approved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving to the equitable waiver. Okay.
May I just ask a question, just,
Certainly.
Mr. Varney, I think I saw in the literature, I'm just trying to find it, this shed has been in this spot for 20-some years?
I believe so, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's written there somewhere.
I did see that.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
I'm good.
Joe, you good, Tim?
Yeah, it's on the 2005 septic design.
It's been around since 2005.
Yeah. It was before then, but it was there then. Yes. That's evidence there,
I was just thinking about this two sets of criteria for equitable waivers, and that would satisfy the B section, I think, if it's that old.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea. Section B. I agree with you.
Okay. Do you want to do public input, or just want me to make a motion?
Sorry?
Do you want to do public input for this?
Oh,
or shall I
public
make
input.
a motion for
Oh,
equitable
God,
waiver?
the public. Jeez. Is there anybody on this equitable waiver for this applicant that is not in favor of this application? Seeing none, hearing none, is there anyone, any person in the public that is in favor of this application? Hearing none, seeing none, okay, we can go to the worksheet, right? Thank you. I always forget that.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the equitable waiver requested under Article 500, Section 540B, based on criteria that, in lieu of findings by the board under subparagraphs 1 and 2, the owner may demonstrate to the satisfaction of the board that the violation has existed for 10 or more years, and that no enforcement action, including a written notice of violation, has been communicated against the violation during that time by the municipality or any person directly affected.
Second, I'll second.
We have a second.
We have a second.
I second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. 5-0. Okay, beautiful. Guess that's it. You're all set. Thank you very much. Wish you good luck.
Good luck with everything.
Okay?
Hey,
All
you
right.
guys
Thank
are
you.
Hopedale, right?
Yeah.
Of family members, Leonis,
Yes.
Jerry and Penny. I'm talking about Hopedale. Yeah. I'm Holliston. I was. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, good luck.
Have a good evening.
Good luck. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Okay. Case Z 2531, Chasing Seasons Engineering, Stephanie Richards, for agent Jamie Nostrum, owner. Map 50, Lot 1, 24 Loon Cove Road, Lakeshore Residential Variance Zone. The variance, okay, we have a variance, and a variant. Just give us a second, we just gotta make sure the application is complete.
I guess Mr. Chairman, I have some questions in that regard. May I address the applicant?
Absolutely.
Ms. Fritchard, did you see the zoning officer's comments? Have you seen them previous to tonight?
I did, and I do feel like the concerns are addressed in the application, so, curious what you, as the board, think, but.
Yeah. Well, a number of these things are things that we have to find in favor, specifically find in favor of. Where some of those setbacks and things are not noted, it makes it difficult for the board to do that.
Have you all received the latest copy of the plans dated 7/24?
Well, that's a good question.
Of course.
So that plan was submitted after these comments were made?
No, Norma and I had been back and forth a little bit before, well in advance of this, sort of as we were going through the application process. She had reviewed some plans and had some comments. And so they were then updated.
Excuse me. Mine didn't miss everybody else.
Mine from 6:30.
It should be in the revisions notes, 7/24.
Okay, so the zoning officer says the proposed structure does impact two setback lines. However, there are no clear dimensions to verify how much into the setback the structure is.
Yeah, I didn't label it on the plan view because it's really busy as it is. There's the setback requirement chart over on the right-hand side of the plan that lists the existing and proposed distance from the setbacks of the building, that lists those distances there. And I can point out where those are on the building if that helps to clarify.
Let's see.
Okay, well, so the question is, you understand the zoning officer's comments here, and you feel comfortable going forward with the case?
I feel that we've already addressed them because they're the same comments that she and I had sort of discussed
Okay.
a little while back.
Okay, so I don't know why the comments haven't been updated, but that being said, we still have to accept the application as complete. And then we can get into the narrative, so 1 second, please.
Can I ask if you've also received the building plans that had been delivered to Town Hall as well?
Where's the?
Do you have a copy of that right in front of you?
A small set, it's not to scale anymore.
Yeah, I think I do have that. Yeah,
When did those come in?
I didn't see that.
Where were they delivered? When did you
Where's
bring
the date on these? So I can tell if I have the most recent one. Thank you.
when did you bring those in? Do you know?
It was the deadline of the continued hearing, whatever date that was, late in the day.
Are they stamped with the date that she, anyway, I didn't see those.
I don't know. I gave them to her. It was 4:30 or 5. It was late in the day that day. Because I spoke with Robin earlier in the day, and she said, "Yeah, you definitely have to get it in here today because I need to get the packets to you." I mean, I can look back at the calendar. I just don't. I don't know. It was 2 weeks ago, I guess, right? So 2 Thursdays ago. Yeah, probably. I guess if that stated that, yeah, updated on that day.
About
but-
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was the Thursday, which is the deadline for the continuance for this. And it was that date, like I said. I had a sick kiddo that morning, and so I called Robin and I said, "Do I really have to come down today?" And she said, "Yes." So we did. And I think there was some question, you had made some comments via email, and I responded asking if you had received the recent plans, and Robin said that she then forwarded them to you after that.
I didn't get the house plans. I did get the updated plan of the site.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the application as complete for case C 25-31.
Do I have a second?
I'm concerned that two of the variance request, the first variance request, I think we have adequate documentation for. I'm concerned that the second two variances have to do with the setbacks, and I'm just having a hell of a time seeing that.
I can't see it myself. It's so small, I can't see anything written down. I can't see it, and I don't have a copy of the house plan.
Are you guys given full-sized copies of the plans, or you're expected to look at everything off of a half-size?
This is all we got. And
These are always available in the.
without a magnifying glass, I really can't read it.
That's the trouble with half-size plans, yeah.
Can't see the setbacks. Setback lines. Or any setback structures.
Yeah, I mean, they're labeled on there. It says property line setback. There's, the road, property line setback, but I would agree it's small.
Borrow the big ones.
I'm sorry?
You can borrow the big plans if you want.
This is the same one? Does this help you?
This plan up there is the same as well.
I'm not seeing any dimensions now.
Uh,
It's not saying that.
In the notes, the dimensions are listed there. Like I said, the plan is already busy enough, so I didn't want to label them on the plan view itself.
Go to the notes.
Right above the notes, there's a table labeled setback requirements, and the required and proposed, existing and proposed are listed there.
Building from the road frontage required 25 feet, existing 6.8 feet, proposed 5.5 feet.
Right.
Building from the sideline is required to be 10 feet, existing is 11 feet, and it's proposed to change to 6.5 feet. Building from the water is required to be 30 feet, existing is 140, proposed is 130. Building height is 35, it's going to remain 35 or less. So you're looking to take the existing frontage of 6.8 feet, and that's going to go down by roughly a foot and a few inches to 5.5 feet from 6.8. And
Yes.
then the side of a 10-foot requirement, which is at 11, is going to go down to 6.6.
That's right.
That's, yeah,
Jim,
The numbers aren't depicted, but they're,
right, they're in here, and
They're on the legend.
they're on the legend here. So, they're not here, but they're written here. And do you have any elevations? You don't, okay.
no, it just says the building current height's 35.
No, I mean, we don't have any elevation plans
As far as the grade,
as what the structure is going to look like. Yeah, we don't have these. This is what I was getting at. This is the floor plan, but not elevation plan.
Further back.
Oh, there it is, there it is.
Just renovation. Yeah, so, this is the delay. You got a road between the house. Is there a structure there now?
On the existing lot? Yes. Yep, that's on the top of the plan has the existing, and it shows the, house that's gonna be
Or
taken
just,
down.
you know,
Oh, it's probably the front, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the, sorry. Front, close. Zoom. Must be the back. It's quite a slope lot.
yeah.
Hold on. Ooh.
Still have a motion.
Is this where that little cul-de-sac is? If
Motion
you
that-
continue on down here, you,
Not seconded.
that little,
about the completeness.
cul-de-sac, you just put two new houses there.
Yeah, I don't
Is that spot? Okay.
Still
Yeah, big house up on the hill, little, yeah.
We still have we have a motion that it's complete. But I don't have a second.
I'll second that now.
Jesus.
Now that I've seen this, an explanation of why it's not on here.
A motion,
I'll
and
second.
we've seconded that the application is complete.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Does the board feel satisfied with
Okay.
information?
I'll second.
I already
Oh,
seconded.
you seconded.
Yeah. As
All
long
in
as the,
favor?
aye.
Okay. Stephanie, in the future, please give us the stuff that we really need, okay? We need not just on the legends, okay? We need it in the diagrams that we can see it, okay?
Okay.
Please, okay?
Okay, I'll keep in mind that you guys only get the small plans as well, because that makes a difference trying to
Okay.
Right.
read things.
Mhm.
Some
It's
towns,
so-
some
it's
towns
so
everybody
hard to
gets a
see it.
full-size copy, some towns
Yeah.
don't. so.
You got
Even
a
the
bunch-
lettering is small and the
Right.
numbers are real small.
We're old.
You got a board that's in its seasoned years, okay? Right? So it would be helpful, okay? I'm sure you're at 2015 in your eyesight, and I'm at like 2200, okay? All right? So please, okay, in the future, because we don't want to make this miserable for us or you trying to figure out if we've got everything to complete it, you know? And it makes it difficult for our zoning officer on top of it, and then she's gotta write this stuff up, and then we gotta look at it, okay? Because we're a semi-judicial board, okay? And that's why we have to do this, and we ask sometimes stupid questions because we wanna make sure that it's on record that we ask the questions so that the poor applicant doesn't get appealed on down the road from some abutter or somebody that says we did it inappropriately. Okay?
Sure, yeah.
So your
understood.
help in this would be it would be very helpful, okay? Please.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, So we're gonna start with variance Article 300, 320E2 to permit the replacement of an existing non-conforming building with an increased square footage. Questions from the board?
Just if she could explain her narrative, what she's got going on here.
What's the two and, what's the existing square footage, what are we going to? Existing square footage, and then you want to increase it to what?
Yeah, the existing is 1,110 square, feet. The proposed will be 1,910 square feet. That's the residence and the forge. The new residence includes a garage as part of it too. So it's not exactly a one-to-one living space change.
Well, but this is the same variance that is overriding the special exception that we used last month, and
Yep,
this seems to be a recurrent theme, right? Okay.
it's a very popular section.
We just did.
Yeah.
That's the last case.
Yep.
The first one of the most important criteria for a variance is the hardship. Could you describe that for us?
Yeah, sure. The lot is essentially surrounded by roads on three sides. It has Route 11 in the back. And then it comes into 11D on the side. And then Loon Cove Road is, the front of the house. The property line itself is set back pretty far from Loon Cove Road, so the property line set back, it just ends up being a very narrow swath that you can actually build in. The existing residence is already within those setbacks, non-conforming.
What is the size of the lot?
It's just about half an acre, 28,000 square feet. Yeah, 28,000. I have 28,470 square feet.
Which is it?
28,470 square feet. What it has on here. Is that correct?
Do you know what the building envelope is?
I don't have the area of the building envelope off the top of my head now.
Is there anything about the lot that, other than the roads, that's a hardship?
I mean, it has some steepness coming up. That's going to be kind of dug down to allow the garage to be driven into. They're going to be upgrading the septic to a 3-bedroom, which is something that could have been done already, but the prior owners decided to only build a 2-bedroom system there, even though a 3-bedroom was allowed to fit. The existing building's not in real great shape, so it's not a matter of, let's put an addition on and, or improve what we already have here. It's, they have, powder post damage and it's not a great foundation, so they definitely want to take it down and sort of start over. And I think they bought the property knowing that.
Is there anything unusual about the topography, other than having to dig down for a garage?
Some big boulders in the back, kind of where that tree line is, it's a pretty kind of steep bouldery area along the edge of the tree line there now. Loon Cove Road sits down pretty far from where the house is. The house is kind of set up. There's stairs going up from Loon Cove Road up to the house.
So there's an existing garage is gonna remain.
Correct.
That's gonna stay in here, and the new proposed property is gonna have the garage under.
A garage with it too, yeah.
Well, this photo is the existing place, right?
Yeah, the photos are of existing.
So that garage is, isn't that the garage door we're looking at here?
There's a garage right on the front, so, I
It
believe
is
there's a
under the
photo of
house.
that. What's that?
That's living quarters above it, right?
No,
That's not, all those windows, just like,
It's finished.
okay, all right. The two dormers, they're just to square up the house, I guess, right? So you're increasing by 800 square feet?
right.
And that's, a good portion of that is the garage itself that's being, oh no, the garage is going underneath. Okay.
Is there living space above the new garage? Okay, so, yeah.
It's an odd shaped lot.
It is, it's, yeah, long, skinny.
What's this little sketch over here? See this little amoeba looking thing? Little retention pond of some sort? Okay, just a low soil.
Stream. Yeah, yeah.
Sir, could you come forward and use the mic when you speak? All this is recorded, and they take the minutes from the recording, and they won't pick you up back there.
If you're gonna speak anymore, please come up.
More questions from the board?
Just still too bigger than.
No? Well,
I was looking to try to see the surrounding lots and lot numbers. I'm not seeing that copy that shows the other lots alongside the abutters, in other words.
Yeah, there was a survey plan that should have been submitted. in
Yeah,
the packet.
that's something I don't see.
I thought I saw somebody.
I wanted to reference the property of the location of where it is on Loon Cove Road again. And I know you were just explaining near the bridge.
Right,
With the
yeah,
bridge.
it's right adjacent to the bridge, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, a little. Well,
But
yes and no.
Yeah, I think it was yours.
There
that
it
you
is.
sat with.
That's Watson Brook right there. Yeah. It's going into Lake Wisconsin. That's the bridge that's just been repaired a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So this is that property.
This is the retention pond, actually, back here.
Were there any abutters? I didn't see any
No.
abutters. There's no abutters, right?
Just,
I don't think there is.
just immediately across the street.
It's,
But
Right across the street.
now you have to,
Come on up and
now you
just
have to introduce
yourself. Just hit that button on that.
John Flukiger. I don't know if you've been here a long time in Alton. There was a handicap ramp that went from 11 to that property.
Yes,
So-
that's the house.
That's the,
I was trying to figure
yeah,
out.
that's what I was looking at too. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, they know that.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, I mean, we had submitted the abutters list and, I mean, I had included properties on the opposite side of Route 11 as abutters too, to kind of cover all of our
So
bases.
no abutters. None. Just the loons.
We have no loons.
No loons?
No loons, just the beavers.
Just
I gotta
loon
call
coat.
4
No
times a
loons.
year to get rid of the beaver dam.
Come on.
And the beaver guy's the
You're
best.
killing me.
He doesn't make any money at it anymore.
We got no abutters.
No abutters, and it's just, that they've got Route 11 behind them.
Okay, and it's, how many more tough sites are we gonna have tonight?
Every single one of these.
To see the easy ones.
What?
They don't have to come to zoning when they're easy.
Gee,
It's just difficult, people like John.
It seems like a lot of these lots
Road to
of
the front, road to the back, and road to the
lately.
left.
Side, yeah.
Really,
Been
And
extremely
then,
difficult.
and then the
You're an
river,
island.
yeah.
any more questions from the board?
No, sir.
Tim?
No, thank you.
No?
Thank you.
Joe? No?
Thank you.
All right. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Why do you think I sit all the way down here?
Honest to God, I can't keep this crowd, you know. All right, I'm gonna put it to public input.
You
Is
do
there
that.
anybody? Is there,
You do that.
is there anybody in the audience, okay, that's against this applicant's proposal? Seeing none, hearing none, is there anybody in favor of this proposal for this applicant? Seeing none, hearing none, I'm closing public input. All right. Can we get to the variance, please, board, okay? 300, section 320E2, for a non-conforming building with an increase in the square footage. Can we get to the worksheet?
No criticism of the applicant here, but we've been looking at this one too many times. This has got to be the 3rd month in a row we've had one like this. The ZAC should look at that thing first.
We are.
Are you?
Yep.
Good. Thank you. I just had an editorial there.
Duly noted. Definitely noted.
Thank you, duly noted. Okay, now can we get to the
Worksheet.
worksheet? Thank you. Where the heck? Oh, no. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right. All right, I'll start it off.
Okay.
Okay. The variance will not be contrary to the public interest. I see, since there are no abutters and we don't have any loons or anything else, okay, I cannot see how it can be contrary to the public interest for this particular lot.
I agree. I agree.
I agree.
I agree. I think the only, thing the public's gonna notice is that our landmark ramp is gone.
You're up, Joe. You're
Oh,
up.
I'm up. Spirit of the ordinance, the request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, and with the convenience, health, safety, character district within which it is proposed. Yeah, again, you're kind of like on an island and you're just improving the property and it makes sense.
I agree, it's in harmony with the spirit, doesn't make any major changes to the neighborhood, and it's a residence as it has been.
And I agree as well. It does, and it does fall under the category of the master plan. I agree.
I agree.
By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done. The benefit to the applicant far outweighs any detriment to the people of the town of Alton.
I agree. Agree.
I agree.
Agreed.
Values of surrounding properties. The request will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties because there are no surrounding properties. So if anything, it'll just improve the looks of the road itself and the scenery. I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Regards to hardship for purposes of this subparagraph, unnecessary hardship means that owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area. Section 1, no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property. Yes, and I believe the proposed use is a reasonable one. Yes.
I agree as well.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. Okay. Can I get a motion here? Or did we do it? Yeah, I think we finished everything.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Can I get a motion? And please get the septic system in. Okay?
Yes.
You're the septic guy.
I'll make a motion to grant the variance request from Article 300, Section 320E2, and with a condition of an approved state septic system.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll go to the next variance. Article 300, 327-A-2 to allow the building within a 25-foot setback. Joe, could you start off, please?
Yes.
Still gotta do a public.
Well, wait a second, hold on, Joe. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to be against this, this variance? Hearing none, seeing none. Is there anyone that would like to agree with this variance, be in favor of this variance? Seeing none, hearing none, I'm going to close it to public input. Okay. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Joe?
To Article 300, Section 327. Going to the variance worksheet. Public interest. The variance will not be contrary to the public interest.
I agree, there's not much change here. This is to allow within the 25-foot setback, and there's a minimal change to the current situation.
I agree as well.
I agree.
For those same reasons, I agree.
The request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which it's proposed. The same sort of criteria apply here as to the prior one, and I agree that it's in harmony.
I agree as well.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Substantial justice. By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree, big benefit to the applicant and not much detriment to the people of town.
Values of surrounding properties, the request will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties.
I agree.
I agree. There are no surrounding properties, so.
I agree.
I agree.
Hardship, for purposes of this subparagraph, unnecessary hardship means that owing to special conditions, the property that it distinguishes itself from other properties in the area. No fair or substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application? Yes, and the proposed use is a reasonable one.
I agree on both.
I agree.
I agree as well.
I agree.
Can I get a motion, please?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to grant the variance for KZ 25-31 in regards to Article 300, Section 327A2.
Second.
Septic system. We need to get the septic system in there.
Again?
Yeah, each one.
I'd like to make motion to grant the variance as requested for Article 300, Section 327A2, to allow the building within the 25-foot property front setback and with state approval of a state-approved septic system.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay. Next variance. Variance is requested for Article 300, Section 327A dash A dash 3, allowing the building to be within a 10-foot property side setback.
Public,
I'm sorry?
public opinion.
Ah, thank you.
You love the spot.
I'm going to go to public input. Is there anyone in the audience that would be against this variance proposal by the applicant? Hearing none, seeing none, is there anyone in the public that would like to be in favor of this proposal, other than the loons, okay? For this variance, please come forward. Not seeing anyone, not hearing anyone, I will close public input. Okay. Can we go to the worksheet? Okay. Thank you. All right. The variance will not be contrary to the public interest. There has been no demonstrated fact that it will be contrary to the public interest, so that's how I feel.
I agree.
I agree, no big changes to the neighborhood.
I agree for the same reasons.
I agree.
Spirit of the ordinance, the request is in harmony with the spirit of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the master plan, and with the convenience, health, safety, and character of the district within which it is proposed. Yeah, and again, we're right back to that island thing, but it's no one there to it.
I agree.
Agreed.
I agree.
By granting the variance, substantial justice will be done. Big improvement for the applicant and not a detriment to the town.
Agreed.
Agree.
Agree.
Agreed.
Values of surrounding properties. The request will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties. And we've established that there aren't any.
Agreed.
Agree.
I agree.
For purpose of this subparagraph on necessary hardship, which means that owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area. 1, fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property. Yes. And 2, the proposed use is a reasonable one. Yes.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay, good. Can I get a motion with a septic system, please?
We'll make a motion to grant the variance request for case Z 25-31, Article 300, Section 327A3, and within the condition of an approved state septic system.
I'll second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Marvelous. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Import a couple of loons, will you please? Come on. Either that or get some eagles.
I'm just gonna pitch it.
Okay, get some eagles. Come on, something.
Those house
Oh, okay.
plans are really
That's
big.
not this.
Copy of house
Yeah,
plans.
thank you. Good luck.
Somebody got the copy of the house plans there?
House plans, house plans.
So I'll probably get them anyway.
Oh, I just gave them to.
She's got 'em.
Copy of that. Good luck.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
All right,
Care of previous business.
previous business we took care of.
Business, no, she doesn't. It's,
New business discussion.
yeah, we got rid of that.
Got the, okay. Approval of the minutes. Okay, can I get an approval, has everybody looked at the minutes and is there any changes?
I think the only thing I saw. Was the very end, 17 of 17 draft.
At the very end, adjournment. Chair,
Mr. Chair, Rich, not Mr. Lee. It's something I saw.
Oh, oh, I didn't see that.
What is it?
it's on the last page.
Maybe it's
I'm just
because
being
I
funny.
didn't want to see it.
He didn't want to see it.
Can I get an approval from, unless somebody's got, usually, Tim, you've got a period or a hyphen
Oh, I have
or
a
something.
couple, sure, if you'd like a couple of suggestions. On page 13 of 17, line 565. In this case, we have a deck, who has existed, I think that's probably which.
Which has existed, yes.
And then, on the same page, line 560, Morgan stated the criteria in the equitable waiver mention requirements, that might be dimension.
Dimension.
Dementia, yes. He's commenting about what I said. Thank you a lot.
At least you got the point.
With those changes, I'll move to approve the minutes of July.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Norma, is there any correspondence that we need to know about? Nothing?
No.
Oh, what a shame. Okay. No correspondence. I will entertain an adjournment.
Like to make a motion for adjournment.
Go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. 8:34.
Shut off the
Okay.
lights.
Hey, guys, everybody's got to sign this so Joe can be on the board. Okay? Joe, we're taking your house, okay?